breath, the inhalation and the exhalation. So when we come into the mat, we have an opportunity to go more inward, to be more present. So the intention of the practice today is the remembering. And one way to remember is to go inside, to quiet down, to go in a place where you feel more, there's a simplicity of being present. Just being on the mat with the sit bone on the floor and rooting the energy to the earth and really dropping anything that came in before this moment, so we can fully enjoy the present moment. And bring the awareness to the breath. So even to the sound of the breath, the inhalation and the exhalation. How about the texture of the breath? How about just noticing if the inhalation is longer than the exhalation, or the exhalation is longer than the inhalation? And the mind really have a certain amount of capacity to hold information. So when we get overwhelmed, it's almost like the computer, the whole storage of a computer is full and there's no more room. So in order for us to bring more information, to allow in more of information, we need to kind of empty the system. We got to clear it out. So part of what we're doing right now is allowing more storage space, really clearing out the mind. And what's interesting is that in the heart, there's really unlimited amount of storage. It's almost like the cloud. I don't know if any of you started using the cloud. The cloud is sort of the information is in the cloud, and in the cloud there is unlimited amount of information. And that I would refer more into the heart. And the space of the heart is a space where you can resonate into something that we call it remembering. Remembering that in our heart, in our our internal being is, in the essence, is all good, all happy, all joyous. Rarely that space getting overwhelmed with information. In fact, the information in the heart is very different than the information that we get in the mind. So when we practice yoga today, we want to cultivate the remembering in the heart. That's one of the reasons we practice yoga. We practice yoga to remember that in our essence, we are happy. In our essence is joy. So I know you guys going through tests this week, and last week was a performance, and there's a lot going on. So what we want to do the next hour and a half is to drop from the mind stuff into the heart. And go into a space of remembering that in our nature, our innate good, all good and joy and bliss. We call it Ananda. And those words are sort of big words, right? But really, if the sun, if the sun is still there today, I got up in the morning, I was like, what's up with the weather? The sun is still there. It might be cloudy and it looks like a gray day, but underneath, the sun is always there. Even on days that it's more difficult. Or we got up in the morning and we're in a bad mood. Right? So the remembering, for me, it's like listening to a song on the radio that bring me that memory, and that memory is maybe, a time in my high school. That song remind me that time in the high school, and I like that boy, and that feeling It's not so much of the story, it's that feeling in our heart is what we want to bring in. Not so much in the story, because the story will take us right into our head. And what I want to do is I want to bring the remembering today in the heart. So let's bring the hands to the heart. It's beautiful, you guys. See how we shift, and it really didn't take more than a few minutes to shift. And that's a practice we do, and that's why we practice yoga, is to remember that place of joy, place that things are not that difficult. And if it's difficult, it's only to help us transform into a space of more happiness and joy. And let's do 3-time Om and the Anusar invocation one time. Om.